Hello, I'm Kimberly Parker. I'm a full-time voice actor and I'm going to show you today how I made these gorgeous acoustic panels. Very recently we moved out of London and I was able to get my own space for a recording studio. So then I needed to decide what kind of treatment I would be using for my room. And I thought, as it was quite a small room, it was a little bit too snug to have a separate pre-built booth like your studio bricks or cubes, as lovely as they are. So I decided instead to have some acoustic panels, some acoustic curtains, and also some foam stuff on the ceiling. I conducted a thorough search on YouTube of how-to videos, and I came across an excellent one, which I'll link to below this video, by Scottish audio engineer Michael Wynn, also known as In the Mix, in which he gives a really top-notch step-by-step tutorial on how to build your own professional acoustic panels from scratch, and even lists all the materials you'll need. After watching this video about 500 times and making a lot of notes, I started to make my own panels. Now, I won't show too much of the process, mainly because I forgot to record a lot of it, and also we don't really need to reinvent the wheel, but I will give some more details on stumbling blocks that I came across that perhaps Michael didn't mention in his videos. I'm also going to list all of my materials, retailers, and costs in the comments, so you can create your own shopping list if you want to make these yourself. Interestingly, GIK Acoustics are currently selling narrow panels like this one for about £100 each, including delivery, whereas I made 6 panels in total for under £300. If you already have some of the tools like a hand or circular saw, a staple gun, electric drill, and a power screwdriver, then you can do it for even less. As Michael mentions in his video, the main reason aside from cost for wanting to build your own panels might be the materials used. Most pre-made panels use rock wool, which is quite heavy, whereas the filling I've gone for, recycled hemp, is natural, it's not harmful to handle or breathe in, and it's pretty affordable too. I got both the timber and the hardboard for the frames from B&Q. So to make 6 wooden frames, I got Metza Wood smooth plane square edge stick timber, which comes in 1.8 metre lengths, and I ordered 12 of those. And then for the hardboard, I went for standard brown hardboard, which is 3mm thick. And I initially bought 4 of those, but for reasons I'll go into in a moment, I needed another 2. So the main reason I got these from B&Q was because the one near me had them in stock for collection and they do timber cutting. But what I didn't find out until I got there was that they don't cut stick timber and they're quite restrictive on the minimum and maximum sizes they cut for safety reasons. They use this giant machine cutter on the wall for cutting timber. So my carefully laid out plan of making the most of each sheet of hardboard quickly went out the window and I ended up needing more. How do you know which size frame you want? Well, this depends on the size of the filling you're able to get. I was keen to avoid rock wool and I was tempted by recycled denim, but it proved pretty difficult to get hold of in this country. And then I stumbled across my second choice on eBay of all places, recycled hemp. So it's popularly used as roof insulation, and a seller in Camden had loads left over after a renovation. So I picked up 2 packs of 4 10mm thick slabs for £35. Bargain. These were 120 centimetres high and 37 centimetres wide, so fairly narrow. But it was plenty for the size of my room, especially as I'm making 6 of them. If you can find bigger slabs and you want to cut them to size, you can do this fairly easily with a Stanley knife. Okay, so onto the construction of the frames. In hindsight, I would recommend cutting the timber sticks first, then double checking your measurements of the outer hardboard frames before cutting those. Mine came up a bit short, but I was planning on using tape on the corners anyway to avoid snagging on the material, so it worked out in the end. The filling material should fit snugly into the frame. I followed Michael's instructions on using a thin weed barrier to hold the hemp slab in place from the back, and then wrapping and stapling another layer around the front. You can see here some panels that are at this stage of the process, with the weed barrier holding the hemp slab in. Next is to choose your fabric to finish off your panels. I fell in love with the Chimera Cara fabric as recommended on Michael's video. I've gone for the colour Marie, which is a mustardy ochre shade of yellow, something a bit different to the greys and blacks you normally see. It is expensive, but it's a top acoustic fabric choice for audio engineers and panel makers for a reason. It's tough, acoustically transparent and easy to work with. I needed 4 meters, which worked out at just under £60 including delivery. Once finished, these panels are actually quite light, between 3 to 5 kilograms each, so a medium-sized picture hook on the wall will hold one no problem. I have to say, my absolute favourite thing about this whole process was mastering the use of a heavy-duty staple gun. To start with, I just wanted to throw it out of the window in frustration, but by the end of it, I was just looking for things around the house to staple. I love it. So, what do you think? If you're hoping to make your own acoustic panels for your studio, then hopefully this video and the one that I've linked to will be a big help in getting you started. I'd love to know how you get on, so please do comment, ask questions, and happy building!